Hey everyone, it's Dr. Anna. Whew, it's been a week of rodeos. It's been a lot of playtime here. And today I'm really excited to talk about play and the power of play in our healing journeys and how it is actually so key to managing our hormones. We have got to play. And at any age, I'm looking at my gray right now, you can be gray and play, right? That is so true. And so I want to bring Melissa Saunders on. She is BookNook, and they did a book club with my book, The Hormone Fix, recently. So she'd reach out to me. She goes, "I love your hormone hierarchy." Hello, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, I love this. This is like two mamas in the real world incorporating play. And this is why I was so excited for this conversation with you. Because I think,
Um,
we take our expertise and then we meet everyone with where they are, from a hormonal lens, from a nervous system lens, and then from like a woman juggling it all and knowing the reality of how hard it can be fit in lens. You're literally at a rodeo.
Literally at a rodeo. Yes. We've been here all week, the Texas High School Rodeo. And, something like that warms a mama's heart is you see your children or your child just doing what they love. And for me, the youngest she's 17 and she's competing in the rodeo. And her sisters are here cheering her on and supporting her journey and are just so happy for her, for her for showing up even. And yeah, her first run out was amazing. And she didn't make it to the short go, but I'm just really grateful that, you have that commitment. You see that commitment. And like sometimes you feel like, okay, did we lose that? Did we lose that faith in ourselves? Like, I can be the champion. I can do this. And get really serious and forget that it's play. It's fun. We love it.
Hmm. Yeah, also, yeah, when did we forget that? And, your daughter doing that, she's in a state of flow,
Wow.
right? And I know we're going to talk about macro and micro. Like she is in a big experience, I'm assuming, where she's getting in a long flow state. And I think, a lot of us women assume that in order to take care of ourselves, we have to embark in like these long chunks of time. I need to go on do a 1 hour workout. Or, yes, I love riding my bike, but I need to go do a half-hour bike ride. There's so much power. I love that you talk about all of this in your book, in like the snacks and the micro moments. And your daughter, I'm sure, this is one of those big chunks of time where she gets to play. It's obviously very focused and driven and, determined. And but there's also those small moments, and I think that's what's really important, because did we forget, or did we just get busy and not understand that there's, a middle balance our hormones? This is what I want to pick your brain about, through these small moments and opportunities where we intentionally, instead of scrolling our phone and catching up on the email, we do something, some sort of play to get back to ourselves, to get back in flow state, give our brain a break, and regulate our hormones.
Right. And that is so true. And everything you're saying is about getting into the present moment with a state of gratitude, a sense of humor, a lightness, a playfulness. Like, to get in the present moment and with a playfulness, with that type of playful attitude, increases oxytocin. Like, that is going to 10x any other, is 10 times more effective than any other stress management technique that we learn. Really,
Yeah.
to get into those flow states, to get into those play states, to produce oxytocin, because it's the most powerful hormone.
Yeah. So I definitely want to give our listeners here like ideas and ways to do this. And I want to first start by zooming out. This isn't just like a conversation on these things feel good. I want to pull your expertise from your lens. I mean, I'm sure a lot of your followers know this already, but to pull, my audience into this conversation. Um, I love your hormonal hierarchy. So oxytocin, cortisol, oxytocin, our feel good hormone, guys, ladies. Cortisol, what we all think of stress. Insulin, our blood sugar regulator. And then estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all those things we're hearing. If you're a woman around your 40s, like there is now a lot of conversation around all these things. Every single one of these is hormones.
Hmm.
not just the last ones I mentioned. So I think we all know estrogen, progesterone, those are our hormones. But do you know that cortisol, which is a result of stress, oxytocin and insulin are all hormones? And, Dr. Cabeca talks about this hormonal hierarchy. And I would love if you have an image. I pulled one from Dr. Mindy Peltz, but I think this is like your wheelhouse, really. Um,
Oh, really, I always look at it as the hierarchy. Think of a university setting, first of all.
okay.
Think of all the students at the university. Each student has their mission, their passion, their giftings, right? Their talents, their drives. And that's like all the hormones in our body. And then you have, professor hormones, these regulatory hormones, because you have a good professor, the students are learning, they're being, raised up, they're appropriately coached, etc. And if you have a professor that comes in high, crazy, wasted, whatever, he turns off the light, plays a movie, there's chaos among the student body. This is so true. These professor hormones within our body are insulin, cortisol, and adrenaline. So picture that, this hierarchy. And then the queen mother of all hormones, the dean of the university or president of the university, is oxytocin. It's this like an oxytocin, think of benevolent, good leadership, wants, good for all of us to be raised up together, works with kindness and compassion and healthy boundaries. And that is oxytocin is the most alkalinizing hormone in our body, and it's regenerative from a longevity standpoint. It's regenerative. Like, it would turn back the hands of time faster than anything else.
Yes. Oh, I love this. And then I love this as a chiropractor because, I come from the lens of like, let's not just treat the symptoms. And I thank God now that us women are in an age where this perimenopause conversation is getting louder. And so we're understanding symptoms that we're having that are caused or related to fluctuating hormones. But let's not just get in there and like throw the kitchen sink at these hormones, right? We're talking HRT, we're talking, a time and a place for everything. But let's get up to the root cause, and the root cause where we actually have the ability to naturally impact all these things and function the way that we're designed to is through the oxytocin cortisol balance. So,
Completely,
yeah.
completely.
All
And
right.
I'm
So,
curious for those who are watching, put a why, if you know what oxytocin is, if you've heard of it before, or even did you get Pitocin in labor and delivery? Pitocin in labor and delivery is oxytocin. Oxytocin helps with parturition, with contractions, with breastfeeding, with the letdown. That's that bonding hormone, with orgasm, with sex. So that's where oxytocin is produced within our bodies naturally and exogenously. As an obstetrician and gynecologist, we give Pitocin to help speed along labor if it's needed. And so that's sometimes we've received exogenous oxytocin. We didn't even realize that's what it was. And I think it's just powerful to kind of look at that perspective. And then when it comes to this, with perimenopause, we see a lot of people just being put on birth control pills and or HRT. And I always say, okay, there is a place and a time for everything. We want to restore and build up our body's natural hormonal hierarchy the best way possible. And it takes more than hormones to fix our hormones. That's why I wrote my book, The Hormone Fix.
I love your book. We just had this in BookNook. This is one of my favorite books that we read together as a community. My community is still talking about you on the regular, just as you came in and coached them through some things. Yeah, I would love to see your guys' comments too. You wrote a whole chapter. My favorite chapter in your book is chapter 11. I don't know if you have a favorite chapter you wrote, but this is all about your most important hormone, oxytocin. And so, Dr. Cabeca, I know a lot of your followers know your expertise, but just real quick, can you tell my listeners, what is your background? What are your credentials? Like, why is this your jam? What is it about your studies, that's so related to hormones and
Oh my
insulin?
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Well, I'm a lifelong learner. As a young girl, I wanted to be a physician. I mean, it came from an early age, this concept that I want to help and heal people. And then I went to residency at Emory University and studied obstetrics and gynecology. And then after residency, I was a National Health Service Corps scholar. So I came to a small town in southeast Georgia. And I was the only female bilingual doctor in the area. And it was very eye-opening to me to like really get resourceful for my patients to be able to not have to afford expensive hormones or have, to be able to avoid expensive surgeries whenever possible to empower the body to heal. And so I went on to train in integrative medicine and anti-aging and regenerative medicine. And then mostly, life has a way of giving you lessons that you never intended to learn. And so
Mm-hmm.
they say your mess becomes your message. That was true for me because at age 39, I was diagnosed with infertility. I failed several rounds of infertility treatments and then was told I was in early menopause. And it was like, it was devastating to me and my family at the time. And literally, I took a sabbatical, went on a journey around the world. And this is very brief statements, but with the grace of God, reversed early menopause that naturally restored my fertility. So now that I'm out of rodeo with a 17-year-old at 59 years old, hauling horses, driving a big old dude truck, and living my best life.
It's amazing.
So,
It's
yeah.
not first rodeo. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about, I want to give people some good, easy ways to boost oxytocin. And I know we're going to do a giveaway. So make sure you guys hang out. An incredible giveaway that you're offering. I'm so excited for that. So let's talk about, maybe just a handful of your favorite ways to impact oxytocin in the short moments in between rodeos and life and summers with your children and everything else.
Oh, yeah. And hey, I want to hear if you guys agree when I say one, I want you guys to write it down. What
Yeah.
about sex? What
Mm-hmm.
about sex, right? What about that kind of good, fun play, intimacy, caressing, hugs? Like that is a good way. That is a great way. Sex, intimacy, pleasure, anything that brings you pleasure, hugging, kissing, facials, head massage. Playing on a playground, skipping has been shown to increase oxytocin. There's so much that can increase oxytocin. Positive touch, playing with a pet. We have a couple horses and my old dog Sandy, and pets are incredible ways to increase oxytocin. Spending time with people you love and that make you laugh, feel safe, and you trust. That's huge. Also, philanthropy, it's biblical. Give and thou shalt receive. It is, giving of yourself, your time, your talents, your tithing. That increases oxytocin, and oxytocin opposes cortisol. So when we think, oh gosh, I've got all this stress, how can I play more? How can I bring pleasure? Look, and I know I can say this, but Melissa's read my book, and those who know my story know I was at a place of devastating depression and and suicidal ideation. There's no lie. I don't say this lightly. I say this as a life-saving tool that will absolutely change your life and
Yeah,
your
thank you.
hormones and your
Hmm.
health.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't read this book yet, grab this book. I mean, when I read this, I was like, now I totally understand why you're called the girlfriend doctor. It's like there is so much science-backed information, but delivered in a way, clearly you're someone who understands it as a woman. You're like, I need to make this really simple. I need to make this super realistic. You share your incredibly vulnerable story that just, I mean, my heart cracked open. I was like, I love this woman more than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
But really appreciating someone who's gone through all this and is on the other side, and now you're reaching back with the simple tools to help every other woman. I mean, this is for any woman who is stressed and trying to figure out what the hell to do with your hormones. And if that's not like a huge percent of the population, at least my listeners, I'm sure yours too, grab this book. Like, make this your summer read. We just brought this in our BookNook community, like life changing.
Well,
You
and
also
Melissa,
talk about you also
thank you. And I want you to tell my community about your book nook community. I mean, I love book clubs.
Aw.
I just love it. I love that you do this and the way you do it, you make it fun, engaging, educational, inspirational.
Aw, thanks. Yeah, I mean, for a long time, I didn't have like-minded community around me, and I realized how hard that was as a woman. I didn't like the conversations at the tables I was sitting at anymore, and I needed like a bridge. I needed people to help support me as I took those brave steps to make changes in my health and my friendship circles and all the things. And it's like we want people to have what we didn't have, what we needed. And I was like, what if we all like read a fun transformational nonfiction book together, elevate ourselves, and talk about like the reality of our crazy lives? And what if we get these incredible authors to actually come in to a Zoom with us? I mean, that was so fun. My women that got to sit in our podcast recording, They learned so much, and like to get to ask the questions of the author of the book you read, like it's incredible. So thank you. Yes, I'm loving the book club. But one of the things you wrote in chapter 11, you know, this is one of those books, by the way. I mean, I've got it's marked, it's highlighted, it's dog-eared, like it is so loved up. So you talk about self-compassion and oxytocin. I think that deserves a spot here.
Yes, yeah. Um, I think, when we look at the resonance, energy frequencies and resonance of healing, self-compassion, self-love is really good medicine. Like that is the best medicine that we can do. And it is a key aspect. We can talk about self-care and doing different things. We don't want to like focus less on doing, focus more on being
Mhm.
and being in gratitude, being appreciative. And I teach this in my community too. I'm like, okay, when you look in that mirror, are you critical of yourself? Or how are you thinking of yourself when you look in that mirror? What's your first thought? Hey,
Mhm.
and it's often very critical thought. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't like this, or but butt looks too big, this dress is whatever, etc. And it's a critical thought. So say, what if you just switch? Like when you look in the mirror, you say, thank you. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I love your eyes. What great hair you have, or whatever it is, like, thank you for being here. Thank you for your strong arms and legs and brain, whatever it is. Thank you for your generous heart. I mean, just really to shift to these focus points. And it's not soft medicine. There's a lot of science behind this, including in the work of working in compassion and heart math as an organization look at heart rate variability has studied this at length. And I love considering, and I'm curious, those who are watching, who's ever measured their heart rate variability. Well, I tell you, if you've had a child, we've measured their heart rate variability because in pregnancy and labor and delivery, we put those monitors on, those fetal monitors. As an obstetrician, we're listening for your heart rate variability. Good, healthy babies have good variability. When those lines start to get decreased in variable, they start getting straight line. That's an emergency. We have to get that baby out. And then what do? We stop looking at heart rate variability. It
Yeah.
is important now as much.
Oh, we lost your audio.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I never realized baby's HRV was measured. That's fascinating.
Absolutely.
Wow, because
Absolutely.
it shows that they're under stress.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my
And they
God,
get
that's
straight
so,
line. They lose variability when they're under stress,
yeah, it's
just
like
like we do.
we stop
And
looking at HRV and we stop playing. What the hell? Let's get
what
back
the
to all of
heck?
it.
Not us,
Not
Melissa. We're
a,
like, we're back into, but it's a discipline and a practice.
it's a
It's a
discipline and a
discipline and a
practice. And
practice.
I love that word practice, you know, going back to like the things that we say to ourselves in the mirror as far as like self-compassion. I look at it as like there's these thoughts that we receive and then there's these thoughts that we choose. And you know, we can practice. Like it might feel a little weird, but if we're receiving thoughts and beating ourselves up like, ah, you look so blah blah blah, we can choose. We can choose. I love my shoulders. If there's no other part of my body that I'm like loving just because it's one of those days, I'm like, I appreciate you. I like you.
I love it.
Like
Exactly.
choose your one part. Maybe it's your knees, maybe it's your toes, but like love that part. And also I think a big part of self-compassion is forgiveness. And this is where practice comes in. Like I didn't do my best today. I snapped at my loved ones, or I set to work out and I didn't work out. Like it's okay. It's practice. We're not going for perfection. It's forgiving ourselves. We beat ourselves up so much and moving forward. And I think this ties in perfectly to, you know, we've been following a model, I feel, of self-care that's not realistic, and then
Yeah.
blaming ourselves, guilting and shaming ourselves for like, why can't I fit it in? Because it's another to do. And so what we're talking about with this play, I guess it's technically a to do, but it's not like a checking your email to do or scheduling a massage. It's like taking that 2 minute break in between tasks, choosing like I've ridden my bike 3 times already this morning in 2 minute chunks. It's choosing to take care of you and play, and knowing now you guys know like this isn't just wasting time or being selfish. This is being self with. And it's the top of that hormonal hierarchy. You're addressing the professors in the college that are going to impact everything down the chain.
I love it. I love it. And I think of that is this play, these moments that we take to play. Like how many times have we chosen work over play? choosing work over pleasure, choosing self-sacrifice over self-compassion, listening, doing what others or what's on our to-do list versus what our heart feels that we want to do. And honestly, when we have these breaks, just like with exercise snacks, when we do play snacks or oxytocin snacks, like oxy play snacks,
Yeah.
when we do these like micro snacks throughout the day, we have more energy, more capacity. If you think you are like recharging with these play, I mean, it really becomes from the thoughts to a little activity to something, like becoming creative about ways we do fun things and
Yeah.
making time for that. And I tell you, it changes your physiology. Melissa, because of the book, I make everyone check urine pH.
Yeah.
But look, you can be stressed and your urine pH is this, you can eat the best food, lots of greens, you could be a macrobiotic, vegan, whatever, and you can still be acidic because you're stressed. Cortisol increases urine acidity, oxytocin increases urine alkalinity, and that is anti-inflammatory. So these things that we do improve our physiology. And so it's like little recharts, little reboots.
Yeah, and it's really neat because I think this is where, if you just dip your toes and start to trust this process, it's not a waste of time because it rewards you and everyone around you for the rest of the day. Like your brain works better, you feel more balanced, you're happier. One of the coolest things you had us do in our community is test our urine pH. And you were like, try it when you have like a connection with a loved one. And so my husband and I had like a really short window of getting a dinner out together, but we were fully present with one another. I checked my pH before and I checked it after. And it went from acidic to alkaline. Like it's so cool because you literally see the objective data. Um,
Yep.
Someone in the chat is saying HRV is a challenge as an adult. It can be. And so I think I want to drop a little info on my upcoming play challenge because this is, I created this. Dr. Cabeca actually really helped inspire this when we read her book because she talked about how important play was. So I'm like, let me create a 30-day walkthrough for women so I can pull you in and teach you and guide you because I think a lot of us forgot how to play. And so starting on June 21st, I'm leading women through this 30-day, I don't want to call it a challenge, it's a journey because we have enough challenges, where I'll give you suggestions on how to play. I'm going to teach you how to figure out your own. We're going to color in a tracker because we all love that dopamine check off a to-do list. But I'm having you color because coloring is play.
I love
um,
it. I'm
and
doing it with you.
we're starting that on June 21st. It's like $9.99. I've got a $9.99 version for anyone who wants to dip their toes, and then it's part of our VIP community where you get access to these incredible authors and intimate conversations with them while we're reading their books. So there's two options to do that. But Michelle would love to have you in and explore. And then Dr. Cabeca, I know you've got a great code for that. And you also were so generous, you wanted to do a giveaway today. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's definitely do a giveaway. I'm looking to see if one of my team members is on here to plug that code in the chat. Uh,
Mm.
but I think did we say it's, hold on. We have the dranna.com/BookNook, right? Dranna, DRANNA .com/BookNook 6 and BookNook 12. Okay, Mira put in the code is Cabeca to get in. Okay,
And
great.
then if
So
you
Melissa,
guys,
tell them how they do it. So they go to this link.
they go to that link, it should walk them through everything. I would just say, this is going to live on my grid, so you guys will have access to my platform. If you have any questions, you can just message me. Me or my team will walk you through. It should be pretty self-explanatory. If you guys are only seeing like the 6-month and 12-month access, which is, joining the actual VIP community, and if you're interested in just like dipping your toes and just doing the play challenge, and that's $9.99, and I think Dr. Cabeca's discount code works even for that, so it's probably like $8. We can send you that link if it's not applying on here. So we'll walk you through, but we should be good with those.
Yeah, just click that link and Melissa's team will help, or just message us here, DM us as well. And so we want to give a giveaway. Who wants to play? Like we talk about intimacy and one of One of
Even
my
yelling at the
top,
rodeo.
yeah, so much yelling. I mean, woohooing, a lot of hooting and hollering, to be honest. So, so we're going to do some play giveaway. So one of the things that helps with play is intimacy, right? Intimacy and connection. We are, Amira wrote, sorry everyone, Dr. Anna's service, I'm breaking up, but she's in play and spending time with her daughter and horses. Thank you.
Yeah, it's real
And
life.
yeah, and so we're going to do some giveaways. And so, Amira, you can help me choose what we're going to do, or we're going to do a Julva and a VELVÉ. Now, VELVÉ is not on the market yet, so you guys get this free. This is my lubricant that I've been working on for a couple years now. It's clean aloe vera based with hyaluronan and clean ingredients, no chemicals, no petroleum, no silica, none of that stuff. So it's a clean lubricant and a Julva, which I'm patented formula, cosmetic cream for the vulva, the most important real estate of our body. So that's our lady bit. So we use that Julva every day in VELVÉ for play. So we're going to give away a bundle of that. And let's see, Melissa, you and choose. You have to be in the U.S. though. So you guys put a Y in if you want to win a bundle, and we'll put a
Yeah.
link for that too. But
Yeah.
so,
Do you want it to be people just in the room here? Or do we want them to comment as this lives on our grid and cut it off at a certain point? It's up to you.
oh, let's do that. Let's cut it
You want to
off
do
by
that?
end of day tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
comment. Okay. Say I'm in. Uh, Army Mom Jules is in. So and Michelle's in. Awesome, you guys. All right. And so we'll have you guys enter. We'll have you guys entered into our this giveaway, and we're going to be giving away. It's a over a $90 value. It's Julva. Oops, sorry. Here we go. It's Julva and it is VELVÉ, and this is a combination for play. So we're going to give that away, and I call that "This is the way to kickstart your summer of love." So great. Okay, you guys. So be sure to share this. Be sure to share this. We're going to save this and post it to our feed, and we will announce a winner end of day tomorrow, Saturday. So end of day Saturday, we'll announce a winner, and share this. Let people know what you're doing. Join Melissa in her challenge. You can see how engaging she is and how knowledgeable she is. And she wants the science, the fun, and the community. And this is good medicine, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out at dranna.com/BookNook 6 or BookNook 12 and join the play challenge, the 30-day play challenge. I love that you're doing that. Use the code Cabeca to get a special discount.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking time. I know you're juggling it all. And again, I'm just going to say this is real life, right? I think it's so important to show like we are juggling it as well. And we have reaped the benefits of incorporating in all these things. So join us, you guys. We love to have fun. And this is how we do it as women today.
Thank y'all. Thanks,
All right.
Melissa.
Thank
Bye,
you. Bye,
everyone.
guys. Good luck.